I'm currently studying to become an educator. And about a couple of months ago, I went to a field trip to Mystic Seaport. Now, the purpose of the trip was to learn about the sea and how the sea affected the people living in that area. Now, our teacher had given us a scavenger hunt in which we would go around and go to businesses, shops, and homes and learn how the sea affected everybody there. Now, as I was walking the land, I simultaneously began to realize that I was learning about the sea as I was just checking off things. Now, there was this one object that was not on the list that had caught my eye and grabbed my attention. It was a lighthouse. So I decided to just walk into the lighthouse and learn more about it. And what I had learned had given me much light into my life. You see, lighthouses are towers built at the edge of a cliff that emit light into the sea to guide sailors and ships. Now, in the past, sailing was an extremely dangerous endeavor, as it still is today, having to overcome many obstacles like starvation, food, harsh weather climates, disease, you name it, a multitude of obstacles. Now, there was no GPS, there was no MapQuest, there was no pulling out your iPhone, telling Siri to take you to this destination. It was, you hop in a ship, you take a map, a compass, and you look for the light of the lighthouse. Now, I see lighthouses not only for what they are, but also for what they represent. A sense of hope, humanity, and guidance on a journey. And furthermore, how they are able to help guide us. Edith Wharton once stated that there are two ways to spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Now, a candle is something that emits light into the darkness. And oftentimes throughout life, we experience a variety of different things that bring unknowingness and confusion into our lives. And all it takes is that one person to spark light into life. These people are everywhere. They are our teachers, our family members, our cousins, significant others. They are our coaches. They are our mentors, our everyday heroes. They are constantly shaping and molding us in our everyday interactions. Now, if an individual is a mirror, they simply just reflect the light of the candle and magnify it. And we constantly do that with our mentors, constantly reflecting their light and magnifying their characteristics. Now, one characteristic that's important to navigating the waters of today is not being afraid to take a risk. A risk is doing something unsure of the outcome with the potential to win, lose, gain, or loss. If you ever get the opportunity to meet my father, you will understand when I say to you that it is the best plate of food you will ever have if you get a chance to try some of his cooking. My father's dream has always been to open up a restaurant and share that gift with others. About 7 years ago, he was injured on the job, had to have his shoulder replaced, and received a sum of money so that he could live off of. Now, for every door that closes, another opportunity opens. And my father seen this as an opportunity to make his dream come true. So he did an extensive amount of research into what it took to opening a restaurant, and he realized that it took a lot more capital than he had. So what he had done was, he opened up a bodega, the Lopez convenience store. Now, I remember traveling with my father in the car, going everywhere, to the bank, going to vendors, stocking the shelves, interacting with customers, going back and forth, running day-to-day tasks. I often remember sometimes an average day would consist of me waking up, going to school, leading a class board meeting, leaving the meeting, leading track practice, coming back to work at the store, to then go work at another job delivering pizzas, which we're actually going to eat at today. Shout out to Philomena. And then work over there. And then come back home to do homework and finish up the night. Every minute of my day was planned, and I was very diligent with my time. Time management to the max. Now, unfortunately, after about 9 months, we had to cut our losses and close the store down. But even though we lost a lot, I also gained a lot as well. I gained the importance of cultivating a hard work ethic, maintaining a positive attitude, being enthusiastic about life, and adjusting to unexpected obstacles. You see, every setback is a setup for a comeback. And everybody experiences success in different ways, but sometimes failure is the fuel to your next success if you just take the lessons that are learned from it and apply it to your everyday life. Another attribute is appreciation, having an attitude of gratitude and being thankful for being alive. About a year ago, my mother, sister, grandmother, and I were eating lunch at Red Robin. I had finished up my meal, I was on the go, hopped in the car. Now, when I got in the car, something had happened that would forever change my life. My grandmother had suddenly started throwing up uncontrollably while simultaneously losing control of her entire body. My mother and sister had panicked frantically because they didn't know what to do as they seen my grandmother throw up blood and bile and lose control of her entire body. So when the ambulance had came, it later turned out that she was having 2 strokes simultaneously on both sides of her brain and she had lost control of everything. After my grandmother was out of critical condition, she had lost everything. She moved back in with us and we taught her how to walk, how to talk, and how to eat. I asked my mother at a recent birthday what would be one piece of advice she would give to anyone growing up and living their life. She said, appreciate life and appreciate those who you have around you because you'll never know when it'll be gone. And those words forever sparked an attitude of gratitude that will live in throughout me for my entire life. Another important attribute to navigating the waters of today is ambition. Ambition is being the best you that you can possibly be. Now, in high school, I would often stay up late doing homework or projects and things, and I'd see my mom returning home at odd hours of the night, in the middle of the night, telling me, Justice, go to college and get your education so you never have to work as hard as I do. I felt the pain in her voice, and I saw the pain on her face. The conversations that I had with my mother forever sparked a light of ambition that will shine in through me throughout my entire life. You see, I don't necessarily know what creates ambitious individuals, if a person is just born ambitious, or if they begin to manifest it inside themselves after they see a need in the world, and furthermore inside themselves. But whatever it is, capture it. Carry it with you throughout your life, and carry it with you through your journey. Human connection is essential to navigating the waters of today. It is about living a lifestyle that is both appreciative, heart-to-heart connections, and making meaningful human connections. In the digital age that we live in today, it's often easy to lose sight of that. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social media, text messaging. We often communicate through each other very virtually. And while I'm a strong proponent of social media because I have seen how it can unite people, I also have seen how it can divide people as well, and divide authentic human connection. My father has this ability to talk to anyone about anything and meet any person. He just loves to meet new people and just talk to them and genuinely get to know them. My father's been diagnosed with congestive heart failure, along with a variety of other life-threatening diseases. But to be quite honest, he has the strongest heart of any individual I've ever met in my life. They often say that home is where the heart is, and he has opened up his home to many individuals in need. It is often also said that the quickest way to get to a person's heart is through their stomach. And you know what? My father always cooks a good meal for those in need and whoever is hungry. You see, there are 5 degrees to human connection. A hello leads to a handshake leads to a conversation, meaningful conversations lead to collaboration, creative collaboration leads to organizations, and organizations change the world. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change the world for one person. And all it takes is just one person to spark a conversation that leads to deep, meaningful human connection. Now, throughout life, we're all going to encounter waters that are rocky or smooth. We're all going to go through storms that may last some longer than others. We may be the captain of a ship, or maybe the crew member taking directions. We may even be the ship that's lost at sea. Or we may even be the lighthouse. Anne Lamott once said that lighthouses don't go leaving an island searching for ships that are lost. They just stand there bright, shining. We may even be the candle that lights light into life. Or we may furthermore be the mirror that allows that light to magnify over the sea. What I'm talking about is cultivating your own personal legend. your own inner compass. Because, you see, leadership must first manifest itself inside of you before it can spread throughout. Marianne Williamson once said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond all measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So please continue to let your light shine." Thank you.